is the only podcast on earth that is a complete shit show. I am Turch, and with me is a very special guest from Guitar of Consciousness. It's Jake Savich. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, pretty awesome, my friend.
Oh, it's so
Pretty
good to
awesome.
have another musician on the show to talk some music stuff. And I know that you've been doing I've seen your posts around Facebook and Instagram and YouTube for so long, and I've always been fascinated, and it's so good to have another local Australian on the show to talk some guitar stuff. And I've always been, like I said, always been fascinated by the stuff that you do. So I thought, let's get you on the show and let's have a chat.
Why not?
Why not? That's it. So let's begin. So you are the founder of Guitar of Consciousness. If I hope I'm right on that regard.
Yes, yeah. I'm the creator, founder.
Fantastic. Oh, look,
Yeah.
before we talk about that, because I do want to talk about all that, let's start it all the way at the beginning, because everyone's guitar story, everyone's music journey begins differently. How did your journey into music begin?
Well, from high school, I saw bands playing, and they brought their guitars to school, and they were performing at we had that class.
Mm-hmm.
And I just saw, well, they're playing instruments, they look pretty cool. And you know what? That's where I started playing guitar. I'm like, I'm going to get a guitar and start practicing.
Fantastic. And other than the musicians around you at your high school, were you influenced by other music, like, other songs or other guitarists around? Like, like for me, Santana was a big part of my upbringing. I listened, and Pink Floyd. So that's what sort of got me into playing guitar. What about yourself?
Well, pretty much like Pearl Jam.
Oh, yeah.
Pearl Jam, yeah. I love that grunge,
Yeah.
And nowadays, when my guitar has progressed, it's like into Steve Vai. I love Steve Vai now, man.
Yep,
yeah.
I could tell from your playing. No, that's fantastic. And that progression obviously happened, so high school, you get a guitar. I'm assuming your first guitar was just as terrible as mine.
Oh, I had a Fender Squire.
Oh, wow, you did really well.
Yeah, I know. So still it sounded pretty good. So, But then actually, beforehand I had a $100 guitar.
Yep.
I only had I think I had that for about 6 months.
Yep.
I think I had nylon strings.
Yep.
Oh, the sound of that was terrible.
I started on classical guitar myself, so I played that for 8 years. So I played very many nylon instruments before moving to the electric guitar. So did you go seek out lessons, or did you?
I did lessons for about 5 years.
Yeah, I
did lessons, and that I had a private teacher, and he came to that school where I decided to start playing.
Yep.
So in between periods, I went to guitar lesson for half an hour.
Yeah, perfect.
And I did that for 5 years, and even after high school, I kept going back to him.
Oh, that's great. It's always good to keep in contact with your mentors of this whole time. I still try to contact mine over time, but it's always more difficult the older you get, I think. Fantastic. So you've been playing guitar. Yeah, you did it through high school and even after high school. What was next for your guitar journey into play? I've seen some videos. I've tried to go all the way back through your history of your YouTube channel. I think it was like 11 or 12 years ago. There's videos you playing with a band. Yeah. Was that sort of your first band?
Well, that was my band called Deep Cast. And pretty much was the singer. He was in my school as well. So because I went to that school, that's where I found that singer. And we started jamming out together,
And it just clicked straight away?
Yeah, we started creating songs within like the first year of getting together. And then we just kept progressing. And we were in a band for over 10 years, and we're going phenomenal.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And how did that transition happen? I know it was difficult for myself, especially starting off, but that transition from playing from your bedroom to playing with someone else and then finally playing on stage, what was your first stage experience like?
Oh yeah, we did a backyard concert. And all the family over, and it was fun, we enjoyed it. We had drinks, and we just enjoyed it, like we made a lot of mistakes, but no one noticed, we thought they did, but they didn't.
Yep.
And so we actually enjoyed it. We really actually enjoyed it. And because of that, we just wanted more.
Yeah.
We desired more. We're like, let's do more. Let's do more.
That's it. And is the band still going to this day, or is that sort of?
Nah, we broke up just as we were starting to go somewhere,
Yeah. And so you're playing gigs, obviously around. You're up in Sydney, I believe, from memory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we had radio show gigs as well.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, and then I mean,
is there any of that stuff other than the stuff on your YouTube channel? Is any of that stuff still up online or?
Yeah, we got an EP out. We had an EP out on it's on Spotify and on iTunes and all that.
Fantastic. I'll have to put it in the description of the podcast so everyone can go and listen to it. I'll have to go and listen to it to myself. And so you're doing some songwriting sort of stuff. What you're going through your career? What sort of inspiring you to write, and what sort of styles are you writing for your band?
Well, it's actually I'm the solo act now.
Yeah.
So well, after my band we split up. Like I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
So pretty much from playing, what was maybe 15 years of playing guitar, and then we split up. And then I'm like, whoa, where do I go from here? Like, and I was doing this thing called access consciousness. And what that is, it just shows you that there is a different way of being. There is a different way of being out there. And it showed me that, if the worst happens, there is always a different choice, a different possibility can show up,
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So it doesn't matter how bad it seems, there always is something greater for you to choose.
And of course, within music, that's always a big thing. Because for me, music's I'd love to say music is my career and podcasting is my career, but sadly, I do have a day job that I have to do and pay the mortgage and all that sort of stuff. But having music there as a barrier, or not a barrier, sorry, as a bridge between difficult parts of your life, I think is a really important, like for me anyway, and I'm assuming for yourself as well, using it as a bridge or a focus point to concentrate your energy, concentrate your creativity. It seems to it brings me alive, and I'm sure it does to you as well.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Now, so you've got this this consciousness aspect of it. How does the music fit in for you?
Well, it's actually transformed the way I play.
Yeah.
Before playing with the band, it was always about making others valuable. Never, the guitarist is always in the background. And now, I had 3 years. I had 3 years off. Pretty much, I didn't know where my career was going. And I'm like, I've got to do something different here. I've been always making, the singers, the other musicians more valuable. We're trying to organise events, trying to get into band. One of the drummers was like, I'm like, you coming for a session this Sunday? He's like, no. I got a barbecue this Sunday. Like what? Like what the hell? You got a barbecue?
Yeah.
Oh man. And things like that kept showing up, and so much more, like little issues of just like something basic like that just got to my nerves. Like I'm done with that. I'm done with like all these people's complaints and all that.
So moving straight into the solo work where you can write, you're producing, you're doing all that. That you just decided to. When did you decide to make that leap into just being a solo act?
Well, access consciousness showed me that.
Yep.
It showed me that you can be valuable, and you can have your capacities awakened.
Yep.
In a way you didn't know that was possible. So it showed me like, okay, I like that guy Steve Vai. I liked how he does his solo act, and I'm like, how can I start creating songs like that? From creating the songs like Pearl Jam type of songwriting to like something like Steve Vai, though, even something different. So it took a lot. It was very uncomfortable, though. I just kept going. Every day was something different.
Yeah.
And that's where I started creating these songs. They're on Spotify, they're on iTunes at the moment. and they're just different. You know, people like they don't know what to say about these songs.
I
You know,
and I was gonna say that too. Talking about your songwriting, it's almost like got this big classical music influence where it's very melodically focused type of music, and it's very much a solo freedom of, like, it almost feels like it just flows out of you when you play the guitar and all these recordings, rather than, you know, I'm sure it's really structured. I'm sure you practice these like day and night to get them exactly the way you want. But they just come out when you play them free flowing all the time, and I think that's a real skill to have.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's taken a lot of practice. You know, a lot of practice.
Yep.
Though sometimes like, you know, practice can make, you know, like get you frustrated and you know, you don't know where to go. Though what guided me was the tools of access. They guided me to like keep going.
Yeah.
Like,
so what I don't know, obviously because it's part of your course and I don't want to give away too much, but what is some of the core aspects of access?
Well, their saying is they empower you to know that you know.
Mm.
So you know, kind of like you know what's going to work for you.
Yeah.
So you know what works for others is sometimes not going to work for, you know, for yourself.
Yeah.
You know, we're always like, oh yeah, what do you do? What do you do over there? You know, is that going to work? You know, that we're trying to get other people's stuff, like it worked for them, so that's going to work for me.
Mm.
The access is about what's going to actually work for you.
Mm.
And you know, that's how I created the Guitar of Consciousness.
Yeah.
So I asked what's going to work for me instead of actually asking, you know, should I be another band? Should I be like them? You know, I was doing that in the past and it wasn't working. Mm. So I'm like, what's going to work for me now?
Yeah. No, there's so much, like I said, with your solo work, and you're always putting out new content, which is amazing. Your work ethic when it comes to this sort of stuff is fantastic. Where do you find the drive to is it just wanting to do the next thing, or is there that motor inside you that just wants to keep going?
Well, one of the founders of Access, they say, never give in, never quit, and never stop. Mm. And when I heard that, you know, about maybe 3 years ago, 5 years into Access, so 3 years ago, and I'm like, I heard him say that, and I saw how he was being, and he was the same like as what you said about me. He just kept going. He kept creating. He kept doing videos. He kept doing more. He kept doing classes. He kept going. And I'm like, I got to do that.
Yeah.
You know, like in my past was about, you know, I take 2 steps and then 10 steps back.
Yeah.
I'm going 2 steps forward and then 10 steps back. You know, we're always in the parking lot, you know?
Yeah.
Let's get out of the parking lot. Let's go up on the stage, you know? Yeah. We're always, you know, we're limited. We're always getting limited, you know, by those 2 steps and 10,000 steps backwards.
Yeah. It's just amazing. Like I said, so what do you, you're sharing this access of guitar and Guitar of Consciousness, sort of combining the two within the musical sort of realm as well. And you're showing other people how to do this now.
Yeah.
Which is amazing.
Well, that's what the series, you know, I play original guitar piece and then I talk tools of access that what you can get you to being something like that or even greater. Mm. And the reason why I'm doing that, like I don't have to do, you know, spread the tools of access. No. Though it's changed my life so much that when I see someone else's life change and I can see they come up to me like, you know what you said in that call, what you said in that class, what you said then, like, fuck, it just changed me.
Yeah.
Like, you can see their face and I'm like, you know.
It's like a musical, you know, inspirational speaker. It's amazing.
I just love the feeling. It's just a great feeling, you know.
Yeah. And you're doing this, it's purely online at the moment, or are you going to, hopefully without this COVID stuff going on, is it just online at the moment and you're going to hope to do some classes in person?
Yeah. Once the COVID, but yeah, it's mostly been online, my online events and yeah, doing heaps of other stuff, man. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Like full time. It's full time for me.
It's amazing. Oh, that's so great to hear a musician being able to do music and spread the stuff that they love doing it full time. It's so hard. I know, especially in Australia, out of all the places in that sort of world. Now, I've got to ask something because I'm always amazed by it. Where do you get your suits from?
Well, like some in Cabramatta, there's a place in Cabramatta where you can get. I just buy fabric.
Yep.
And I got a shirt maker.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I got a shirt maker. He's made most of my shirts, and for some of the suits I've got online, though it's taken me forever to find them.
Yeah.
Like through searching through 10,000 different places.
I'm always amazed. I love overly big loud shirts and big loud and suits to see.
They're so hard to find.
And just to see someone rock them so comfortably and with a guitar in hand, it just makes it even better. Now, speaking of your videos, because obviously people will know you from your videos, one of the things that I've always found you have, you're always playing guitar in some of these beautiful places in Australia. Like, I think the Rocky Mountains I definitely saw a video for. How does that setup sort of go? Like, you go, we're going to go to the Rocky Mountains. Who's helping you? What's your crew cast sort of like to make those videos possible?
Oh, I'll tell you what, every episode of the Guitar of Consciousness it makes you want to sometimes blow your head off, like what comes up, like obstacles. We're up to episode 24 now. And just like even the beginning of the episodes, like anytime we plan something out, we'll go there. And you know what? There's people set up there. It was on a cold day, and some guy had a big donut. Where you sit on the water.
Oh yeah.
One of those donut blow up things. You know what I mean? Like things like this, and had his dog and this and that. And I'm like, things like that start showing up.
Yep.
And then these people start coming out. We're filming here, and then people start walking.
Yeah.
So there's so many obstacles that just throw at, and then the audios don't work.
Yep.
The speaker's not working, this and that, though.
I used to do a bit of video editing and audio, like, obviously with the podcast, but audio stuff like that back in the day. And nothing made me more angry than trying to do video recording and editing. It was just the most frustrating part of the whole experience. So I completely understand. But you obviously have a little crew to do that because obviously the camera's moving. So you've got people to help out there.
There are a couple of people with me, yeah.
That's awesome.
Every time I do a video, more people want to jump on.
Yeah, for sure.
They enjoy it, yeah.
It's an exciting time.
The next one I'm going to book a rooftop in the city somewhere.
Oh, beautiful.
And do like a whole rooftop scene, maybe like in the daylight scene, and then maybe at the end of the video have like the nighttime scene. So
amazing.
That's what my next song, it's called Come On.
And that you're basically releasing stuff almost every week now.
Yeah, keep doing live videos, and
that's amazing.
Just keep doing stuff, man.
That's awesome. Well, before we talk about what's next for you, I want to talk a bit about, I'm a bit of a gear guy. I love guitars and I love gear and all that sort of stuff. Your guitar, it looks like I think it was like an Ibanez Gem type Steve Vai, like in the red Ibanez. But tell me a little bit about your little guitar collection. I'm sure you've got one.
Well, yeah, that's my latest one. It's a J Custom.
Yep.
Of Ibanez, and the story of that guitar, just like walked into the guitar shop.
Yep.
And the guitar shop I've bought pretty much all my gear from in Parramatta, the guitar factory, and they love me there. And they go, oh, we've got this, they're one of a kind, like, there's only a few of them in Australia. Every year they throw out there. And, he said there's this J Custom out there, and it's like $5,000. And I'm like, fuck. I looked at it, I'm like, whoa, I got to have it, but $5,000, I had probably a few $100 in my bank account that time. So I'm like, nah, I can't get it.
Yeah.
And he's like, he knew how much I liked Ibanez's. Like, I love Ibanez's. And I like all guitars, like, if they look pretty, I like them. If they sound good, And he goes, "Oh, let me play on it." He let me play on it, and I was playing on it for about an hour.
That's always that's how they get you. They give it to you. You play it in the shop, and suddenly you're like, "Ah, man, that bank account's gonna take a hit." I think.
and he's like, I got to him, I don't want it. Yep. And he goes, "You know what? I know how much you love it. We're gonna put on a lay-by on you for you, and doesn't matter how many payments you pay, whatever, until you pay it, you can have it."
Amazing.
I know, it was phenomenal.
So that's your number one at the moment.
Yeah, just love it.
It's awesome. And what else have you got in the collection? Because I've got a number one as well, but I've also got other ones that I love just as much, but are definitely not my number one. So what are your other guitars in that collection there? I see some on the wall.
I got a Squire.
Yep.
That was my first electric guitar.
Yep.
I love that guitar, you know. I really do love that guitar. Just had that cool Pearl Jam feel to it, you know. Mm-hmm. And that's just the Squire, you know, the Stratocaster. You know, the Stratocasters are amazing as well, you know. And I mostly got Ibanez's.
Yeah.
I got 5 other Ibanez's in that Squire. I had a Q-stick.
Yeah.
I had a Q-stick, but I ended up snapping the neck on that one. I know it was a $2,000 acoustic as well.
Oh.
I just managed to just somehow just landed and the neck just snapped like bang.
The worst.
Oh no.
Sad. Makes me so sad. Guitars going that way.
But anyways,
fantastic. And you've got obviously so you've got your Ibanez. What's your amplifier? Like I said, what do you plug into these days?
Well, I bought a QS sound engineering amp.
Okay.
It's made in Italy.
Yep.
And it's phenomenal. Like the sound from it is just like I just recently bought that about 6 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a tiny little amp. It's only like a 50 watt. Though the sound of it is it's phenomenal.
Amazing.
How they built it. Like it's very pricey for a little amp.
Yep.
Though the sound of it's just amazing. So it's ACUS. So I've never heard of it, but when I saw it in the shop, I'm like, I'll have a go with it. Like it's got a cool timber frame, timber framing, and it's just cool.
That's it.
Yeah.
And do you put any pedals in front of that, like gain, delay, and all that?
Like it hasn't got distortion. It hasn't got distortion.
Yep.
So I just use my distortion pedal.
Yep.
And that just it just screams.
Perfect.
It really does just scream.
Perfect. You can't go wrong with a bit of a gain pedal and a bit of delay in the back just to give it some depth, and you're ready to.
Like before with my band, I had a massive quad amp tube. You know, it was a big stack, and like it almost blew the house apart. You know, the sound. Though these days, we've using all the tools of access. You can get the little fingers can blow your mind, man.
I've gone down. I used to have same as you when I was 16 or 17. I bought the 4x12 and orange amp head, and the older you get, the harder it is to lug that amp up stairs.
Oh my
and
God,
you go.
I know.
So I've gone down. I've gone down significantly since the beginning of my my guitar journey, which was started like 20 plus years ago now, which is a bit crazy to think.
Well, nowadays when you're on performance, they just put a little mic in front of your speaker, and you go through the massive speakers, and
Yeah, exactly right. You don't even need to. You can't even turn up the amp. That's you got this 100 watt head, and you can't even turn it up.
No, it's on number one.
That's no point. Come
on, I've got this amp. It should be on 11.
Yeah, that's right. It needs to get the tubes warm. Now turn it down. Turn it down, mate. No, it's so good. It's and with that. I guess my big question is what sort of next? Like, you've been doing the videos online, you've got this course that you're running. Where can people find your course? That's an important thing. Where can people find your course?
Well, guitarofconsciousness.com.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
That's simple.
Easy as that. And obviously your YouTube channel will have some of the live streams that you'll be doing or coming up, and hopefully this new video as well.
Yeah, all the links in the community section.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And Do you do private lessons as well, or is that something that might be coming in the future?
I do private facilitation
Yep.
on anything you require.
Yep.
And that can involve, if you want to bring a guitar to that, you can bring a guitar to that.
Yeah.
And I can just show you like different ways of, practicing, and that you've never knew that is actually possible.
Amazing. So what is next for yourself and Guitar of Consciousness?
I've got that new episode coming out, episode 25.
Yep.
And I've already got the suit organised. The suit's coming. The studio's booked on, I think, the 5th of July.
Yep.
The studio's booked. And yeah, I'm going to do that rooftop. I'm going to get the rooftop booking.
Awesome.
That's going to be somewhere around the city. My sister's looking.
Yep.
And yeah, once COVID goes, start doing maybe some concerts, who knows?
It'd be amazing. To have a whole, packed pub full of people back again. I can't wait till live music really gets back into it.
Yeah.
It's great stuff. Oh, look, Jake, it's been... I'm out of questions, and I think we've gone through everything. It's so exciting to, I've been watching your videos for a little bit now. So exciting to actually get you on the show and talk to you about this sort of stuff. I can't wait to see what the future holds for you. Hopefully we get to stay in contact, and maybe in a year or two we can have another chat, or, in a year or so we can have another chat and see what's going on. Maybe even show each other our guitars on a live stream or something like that, and we can go from there. But I just want to thank you for coming on the show. It's been fantastic.
It's been a pleasure, my friend.
And just one more time for our audience there, where can we find all of your stuff?
YouTube, Guitar of Consciousness, website, guitarofconsciousness.com, and yeah.
Fantastic.
And all the other social medias you can find me.
Absolutely. And for all of our fans out there, make sure you follow us on the SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. I would have said YouTube, but sadly, we've been kicked off YouTube, and that's for a very ridiculous reason. And if you'd like to send us some mail, email us at weonlydoontakepodcast@gmail.com. Jake, once again, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show.
You're welcome, my friend. You're welcome.
And we'll see you all
pleasure.
Very soon.
Have a good one, my friend.
Man, thank you so much for coming on the show.
That was awesome.
That was it. Look, can't wait to see what more comes out. It's always a good time when a new video gets uploaded to YouTube.
Yeah. No, it's a lot of effort though.
I know.
You just keep going, man. On my last suit, I got these buttons made. I got this certain buttons made in Newtown, and the other suits I used to get the tailor to get the buttons, and this time I went to get buttons, and I got buttons, and it was $100, just for buttons.
Man,
I'm like, oh wow, okay. So always things new just keep showing up, and it just gets, by doing that, when people see, they're like, whoa, that's phenomenal.
It's awesome.
So those uncomfortable things always create big stuff for me, man.
Dude, I'm planning my partner and I are planning our wedding, and I feel you 100%. It's always those little things like this that make the biggest problems. Those biggest problems.
It does, man.